What are your expectations for this team right now? What are realistic expectations? 9-5, they won 7 straight. And after they lose, after the 7-game winning streak is over, Chris Gasper says the kicker is more important than the quarterback. I don't know if you read that in the Boston Globe. He read that. He read that in that order. Got to read that column. But no, seriously, what are Bert Breer? What are the realistic expectations right now for the Patriots?
I mean, I think they make the playoffs and they've reached expectations for this year. I mean, I don't even think winning the division is necessary, to be honest with you. Buffalo.
Really?
Well, to me, like if they split with Buffalo, you come into the year they split with Buffalo and they finish second in the division. They make the playoffs. I think you've met expectations. I thought coming into this year, this was a 2-year rebuilding job. I think the roster is one of the worst 10 in football last year. I thought it was going to take 2 off seasons to get it back to where it needed to be. And I always thought when they drafted Mac Jones in the first round, this was about getting into a place where you were rolling going into year 2 and you could start to take advantage of having a quarterback on a rookie contract. Because if you look at guys like Mahomes and Goff and Wentz, those teams really had it going when they went into the quarterback's second year. I think that's where you wanted to be when you come out of this.
You agree with that?
No, I mean, here's the thing. I think the 7-game win streak changed expectations, right? I think it changed it a little bit and how dominant they were against the Bills in that first matchup. So now I feel like the expectation is win the division, right? But I do feel like people have kind of overreacted a little bit to this loss. Like they were this juggernaut and, they were just going to win 14 in a row. Like they lost to a very good team that's probably going to make the playoffs, that out-patrioted. Like those two teams are pretty similar.
I mean, the Colts had a rough start, too. That's the other thing. Is like people like to look at the Colts records. They're 7-6 and everything else. Like coming into that game, like if you look at what they've done over the last month and a half, it's not that dissimilar from what the Patriots were.
All right. So we talk about just making the playoffs would meet expectations. And, that game that people play, if you had told me at the beginning of the season, I would have said, okay, you didn't know anything. Now you got information. You don't want to you don't want to settle for that. That is settling if you just say, you had a 7-game winning streak. At one point, very late in the season, in December, you were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And then you say, well, if we make the playoffs and don't win the division,
Michael,
come on.
I would say your attitude is one of somebody who's been living in this market for 20 years.
No.
Super Bowls are a birthright.
No, I didn't say anything about the Super Bowl yet. I may get there. I didn't say Super Bowl yet. But really,
look. I think honestly, like how quickly they've been able to rebuild the roster, I think is impressive, and I think it's largely due to what happened in a single offseason. So I think not only Belichick, but Ziegler and Wolf and all of those guys deserve a lot of credit for what they did in the singular offseason. Because generally, like you look at where the Patriots roster was a year ago and where they were coming out of the 19 season when they were aging everywhere and it looked like the wheels were coming off. To be able to rebuild it where you're contending again in 2021, I think is impressive. It's not going to take an AFC championship game or a Super Bowl for me to say this was a successful year.
What do you think, Gasper, what do you think Robert Kraft's expectations are right now? I'm just wondering, what's Kraft expect? What's Bill Belichick expect of this team?
I mean, I think Bill Belichick looks at it and feels like this is a team that should win the division. I think he feels like he has the coaching advantage over Buffalo. So much, they say styles make fights.
Right.
Yeah. And that's in the NFL, too. And I think when you look at these two teams, the Patriots are built to beat the Buffalo Bills. They are built to exploit their weaknesses, the run defense. The Bills are a team built really, to me, over-reliance on Josh Allen. I like him a lot as a quarterback. I've come along. But I think, again, there's just way too much on him from the way they built their team. So I think if you're Robert Kraft right now or you're Bill Belichick, you're thinking we should reclaim the division, let everybody know, hey, the king is back.
Okay, so part of it too, and I think this is part of what happened on Saturday night. It's what you sign up for with a rookie quarterback. When you're playing a rookie quarterback, you can't expect it to be...
Bert, you didn't know? He's only a rookie when they lose. When they win, he's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. He's only a rookie when they lose the game.
You got to get over
That's the only time he's a rookie.
I think somebody's hanging on to an old take here. I think.
I'm just letting you know.
A little sensitive.
I hadn't heard the rookie thing in a while. He's only a rookie when a pass is incomplete or they lose the game or whatever.
Look, I think
okay, when Twitter is on your phone, you can just put it down. It doesn't exist anymore. Don't engage. You put it down and it's gone.
I honestly think we saw part of the price for playing a rookie quarterback. Like on Saturday night, we saw a couple of things that you probably won't see from Mac Jones in 2 or 3 years. And again, that's the part of the price. And I think it's worth it to get him all this experience and everything else and where he's going to be going into 2022. All of that stuff is 100% worth it. But I think you were fooling yourself if you didn't think something like that was coming because he hadn't really played from behind a lot. He hadn't been in third and long a lot. They've done beautiful job of managing him. If you look at it, I had a team tell me this, right? Like they did analytics on like the Patriots offense and how it's run over the course of the year prior to playing them. They said there was a substantial difference in how much they've been in 3rd and 2 to 6 from the Patriots to the rest of the league. The other 31 teams haven't been in 3rd and 2 to 6 nearly as much as the Patriots have. What is that?
So they have just lived in that space.
That? Yeah.
Third,
That's how you're managing your quarterback.
Yes, but it's also the way the team is built, right? I think regardless of who the quarterback was, they were building this team to say, we're not going to put it on the back of the quarterback.
Right.
We're going to ask the quarterback to be an auxiliary piece, not the centerpiece. And I think that was smart. And so, again, I'm going to defend Mac here. Like, the team in general is not built to play from behind. It's not built to be down 20-0. It's not just the quarterback. It's the entire team,
all right, so
the way they're built.
Patrick Mahomes had Kareem Hunt rushing champion, right? Like the NFL rushing champion on his side. You look at Jared Goff. When he had his big bounce back year, what was it? Todd Gurley was the Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
This is not unusual. This is the right way to do it, and I'm not criticizing them at all for doing it this way. This is how it should be. But I think it was foolish to think that once you get into a situation where they're down by double digits, where he's playing in 3rd and long a little bit more, that you weren't going to see some growing.
Oh, but he was going to Anthony Smith, Bobby Okereke. That's all I heard all week.
I mean,
he was going to Anthony Smith.
Think about this too. How much was he in those situations at Alabama?
That's a good point.
Probably never. And that team
he had better receivers than Alabama.
He did. He actually did. But
better weapons.
And I'll say this on the way out. If I'm Josh McDaniels, I take that stat that you just had and I just blast it. I put it on LinkedIn everywhere. This is me. I was able to keep my rookie quarterback in between 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 6 more than anybody in the league. You think that's coincidental?
Josh, area code 904.
That's right.